It is hard to argue with the thesis of Psalm 133. As strife makes us miserable, even when everything else is well, so unity is good and pleasant, as verse 1 says. Still, we often forget the beauty of unity, content to remain estranged from those to whom we should be close. To catch our attention, David says, "Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell in unity." Spurgeon paraphrases, "Pause and gaze upon it. It will charm you into imitation. Therefore, note it well." David knew that brothers fight. The Israelite tribes often functioned like hostile nations, sometimes going to war against each other, as in Judges chapter 20. But as a Song of Ascents, this psalm envisions all the children of Israel going up to Jerusalem united in God. They were called, as we are, in Paul's words in Ephesians 4:3, to eagerly maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. David was a warrior, but he favored peace, as he says in Psalm 120, verse 7. So should we. David's two illustrations of brotherly unity are helpful if we understand their cultural context. First, he says, unity is like oil running down from Aaron's head to his beard and robe collar. Aaron and his sons were anointed with olive oil mixed with the finest spices, Exodus 30 says. The oil symbolized God's blessing streaming from the priests through their holy service into the lives of the people. Second, unity is like the dew of Mount Hermon. Israel is a mostly dry land, but because of its height, Mount Hermon receives more precipitation than the city of Seattle. Its peaks hold snow for most of the year. Snow melts feed springs and rivers that merge into the Jordan River. Even more than Mount Zion, the area around Hermon is an unusually fertile place. These illustrations set up the closing promise of the benefits of unity. For there, the Lord has commanded the blessing, life forevermore, verse 3 says. The early church, anointed by the Spirit, demonstrates this blessing. Chapter 2 of the book of Acts, verses 44 and 46 say this, "All who believed were together and had all things in common. They gathered for fellowship and worship, and they had glad and generous hearts." By thinking more about others than themselves, they preview the perfect unity that God's people will enjoy in glory. And they urge us to practice the unity for which our Lord Jesus prayed. May they become perfectly one, and thereby validate the loving, saving mission of God. Psalm 133, a Song of Ascents of David. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. It is like the precious oil on the head running down on the beard of Aaron, running down on the collar of his robes. It is like the dew of Hermon, which falls on the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord has commanded the blessing, life forevermore.